What's going on, Panther Nation? The Senior Bowl has been in full effect the last 2 days, and a lot of prospects have begun to emerge, but none have emerged like Marshall prospect Mike Green at the edge position. He has honestly everything that you want as a pass rusher. He has the speed, he has the power, and he can just win with his bend in his hands. Everything that you want in a pass rusher, he has coming out of Marshall. So this is a prospect that the Panthers should have on their board, and I think we actually absolutely will have on our board coming April because I think he's only going to climb the boards. We have the Senior Bowl, then we have the Combine coming up. He's only going to climb boards, man. He's only going to climb the board for every single team, and I think we're going to be one of those teams because, as we know, as Panthers fans, the edge position is one of the worst on this team, if not the worst right now as it stands. So we're going to be looking at a whole bunch of edge, and that's a good thing that we kind of have in our favor, is that there's so many good edge prospects right now that you can look at, excluding Mike Green, in that kind of 10 range. If you want to trade down from 8, you have Jalen Walker, you have Mykel Williams, you have James Pierce Jr. You basically control your own destiny in a sense in this draft. For the Panthers, you can do whatever you want. You can trade down if you want. You can stay there at 8 and go get a guy like a Jalen Walker who you really want, who I think is very talented, a James Pierce who I think is very talented, or you can trade down to 12 or something to get a Mike Green. Mike Green has kind of been a late first round kind of guy, mocked since the draft process. But what we've seen from him already this offseason so far, he could easily jump from that late first round. He's honestly probably already jumped from that late first round to like the 20 range. And considering we still have the Combine coming up, he could jump from that to even in that 15 range. But I just don't know if there's going to be enough for him to jump into top 10 with all the good players that already are projected to go there. Like, I just don't know if he's going to be able to pass a Jalen Walker. I don't know if he's going to be able to pass a Mykel Williams, a Malachi Starks, and a Ted McMillan in that range, who is projected to go there in 2 months. I don't see it. As I stated, man, the Panthers control their own destiny in the draft in a sense, man. We have the 8th pick. We can trade down from that pick. Essentially, at this point, we probably have 4 edge rushers on the board right now. We have Mykel Williams, Jalen Walker, James Pierce, and now Mike Green. I'm assuming probably have Malachi Starks on the board, probably have Ted McMillan on the board. That's a bunch of players. And you literally, and Dan Morgan has stated he wants to, if we can trade down, he would like to do it. Okay, he said that the front office, we know they want to recoup some more picks if we can. And I see a lot of people on Twitter and stuff talking about how, man, we should just take him at 8. I trust me, I understand the hype, and I get why people want to do that, because if he's doing this, you guys might think he's top 10 player. But if you can get him in the 12 range to 15 range by trading back and getting more compensation, then do it. I don't care if he's a top 10 pick. If other teams don't draft him, even if you think he's a top 10 player, trade down from that pick. And even if you trade down with the mindset of we want Mike Green and you miss out on him, you have 3 other guys that you can go after. You're going to have an edge rusher there. If you trade down to 12, you're going to have one of these 4 guys there that you can pick up. It's just going to be the case. It's going to be the case at this point. And Mike Green is just us adding another pass rusher we could look at. It just makes me even more saying trade down, trade down, trade down. It just makes me say that even more as a fan to trade down. I mean, I get it. A player like this, who's emerging like this, who has the size that he has, I mean, again, put him up against any NFL pass rusher, he's going to look the part in terms of the size sense. But if you have all these edge rushers that you can look at, and I'm comfortable, listen, I love James Pierce, I love Jalen Walker. Mykel Williams is an iffy one. Like, I don't know if I would. He would be the last guy I would want, but I wouldn't be upset if we got Mykel Williams at all, if that's what it ended up being. But if you traded down and you missed out on Mike Green, but you still have James Pierce there, and you take him, I'm a happy man. It just shows you trading down is the option right now. I think that's the number one option right now. I understand why fans want to take him at 8 because just what he's showing right now, and it's just like, why not just take the talented player at 8? Because what if it happens if you trade down to 12 and he's not there no more? First of all, I think he will be there, because I just don't know if he's going to be able to go boards that quickly. It could happen, but I don't see it, especially with all the good players that we still have at the edge position and everybody else in that range. Anyway, I don't see it. And just get more compensation, get another day 2 pick. I mean, going from 8 to 12 is significant. You're giving a team a top 10 pick who might want Ted McMillan, might want Malachi Starks, might want
Will Campbell, if he falls that far, might want one of these higher rated players at their positions. It's just the reality. I mean, if we're being honest with each other, if a team wants to go up to 8 to get Ted McMillan, that's a wide receiver 1 compared to us going at Mike Green, who is arguably edge 3 or 4 right now. Right now. Which is just insane how deep this edge class is. I have no idea how I would rank it right now, which is just crazy to say. But yeah, I mean, the big point is, man, Mike Green is proving by the draft time. I would not be shocked if he's my number 2 edge rusher. I wouldn't be. But right now, I still have James Pierce and Jalen Walker over him. I definitely have him over Micah Williams, though. And then Princely Uman Milalian. I always mess his name up. But he's definitely in that range as well. If you don't, he's like my late first round type of guy, early second day type of guy, second round, that you can get him there. But he had 17 sacks last season with 81 total tackles, and he cemented himself as one of the best pass rushers in college football last year. Again, he was on Marshall, so the competition level wasn't like wowing you when you're playing Marshall, when you're playing at Marshall. But, it's just he has all the intangibles, the tools, the traits, everything that you want. He's kind of like a James Pierce. Like, I am betting James Pierce because of his freaking athleticism and how long he is. It's kind of the thing, right? Jalen Walker, I'm betting Jalen Walker because he's an unpolished version of an Abdul Carter, Michael Parsons, and he has production on his name, right? So, and then Michael Williams, yeah, he has the potential for sure. He has it, but I just don't know if I would put him up there with these 4 guys yet. With Abdul Carter, James Pierce, Jalen Walker, and Mike Green. It's just my opinion. Okay, so some more players that have emerged so far in the Senior Bowl is the Panthers that we need to keep an eye on is Maxwell Harrison out of Kentucky. Y'all already know, man, I love Maxwell Harrison. I think he's going to be a great corner in the NFL. He reminds me of J.C. Horn. Even said in the press conference after Senior Bowl that he models his game. He watches some J.C. Horn, and that's the first thing that popped in my mind when I watched film of him before. By the way, I made a video about him last week. If you guys have not watched it, go make sure you watch it. I broke him down. Trust me, I was on it, bro. I was on it because I saw him. I watched film, and I was like, this guy's elite. He's going to be a great NFL player if he locks in and taps in. Honestly, my thought process is just add talent. Just kind of thing, especially if you trade down and get another pick. Just add more talent, man. It's just there's nothing wrong with that. Especially we already have a lot of picks anyway, and we're probably going to use most of those on the defense as it already is and as it already stands. Go out there and get a running back. Go out there and get a tight end and just add some talent there, or maybe go get a receiver in the second round, like that guy from Stanford that I really like. But I think we need more of a pass rush ability, and I think this edge group being so deep, I think you just got to take the chance and draft one here. Even if you trade on a couple spots, just take one of these guys because it's so deep and so loaded. You're going to hit on one of these guys. I promise it's going to happen. So just kind of my thought. Lastly, Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle out of Ole Miss, met with the Panthers today, I'm pretty sure. And this is significant because he is a very, very talented defensive tackle, man. Very talented. And just for depth purposes, again, we have Derrick Brown and Ashawn Robinson. I think they're going to be one of the best duos at defensive tackle this season in general. If they stay healthy, I think they definitely will. But you have Derrick Brown, who's one of the best run stoppers in the NFL. Ashawn proved that he can do a little bit of both at a very, very, very high rate. But to Walter Nolan is just elite, bro. And if you can have that and have him and Ashawn rotating because Ashawn's older, dude, you're going to have one of the best interior defensive lines in the NFL. And again, it's just adding talent. It doesn't matter. I'm seeing how the Lions are building their team. I'm seeing the Eagles. The Eagles don't need linebacker every year in the draft, but it seems like they draft one every year and one hits. Like it's crazy. It just seems like the Eagles seem to always get like a freaking Georgia linebacker in the second round, and you use them every year, even though they don't need it seems like they don't need a linebacker every year at all. So it's kind of what I hope we do. After we attack receiver one, or we attack edge, or hopefully Malachi Starks. I still on the board too. I hope that starts to emerge because I actually love Malachi Starks so much. But whatever happens, and I'm excited. I think this class is very underrated. It's not very top heavy like we are used to seeing because of the quarterback position, but it's loaded, man. That's especially on defense, and I'm very excited. So Mike Green, edge out of Marshall, man, keeping on him all off season, especially as we close to the combine. And just finish out this offseason and get to the draft because he's a player that we could get if we trade down potentially. I guess even draft to 8. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I will not be mad at all because he's a very good player. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'll be dropping Panthers content consistently like this for the rest of the offseason. I'm going to try to post a lot as news like this comes out, and I like a lot of stuff. I'm going to have my safety video coming out next week. I don't know exactly what day. It might be Monday next week. I'm going to drop that. Either way, that video is coming out. I'm going to drop my top 5 safeties in the NFL draft. The Panthers need safety, so that's gonna be a very useful video, very topic heavy led video that I'm gonna be just diving deep on all the top safeties that I'm looking at for the Carolina Panthers. So if you guys enjoy that content, make sure to like, subscribe, and also share with some other Panthers fans that you guys think may enjoy this type of content. With that being said, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.